Greetings, family, and welcome to Dr. Mumbi Spirituals. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. You know, it is so important, especially in this age when we are renting people's houses and living in other people's energies, to ensure that we are strong in spirit and strong in our spiritual foundation. Because when you rent someone's house, you are literally moving into their energy. You are literally living in their spiritual, nene, if I can put it like that. And this actually reminds me of when I first came to Diani. And I moved into, you remember the Ismailis I was talking about yesterday, Shamim and Kabir? I moved into their house in Karibu Gardens. And when I told my mom I'd moved into, Amwindi's house, she was like, oh my gosh, like, you shouldn't have done that, make sure you do all your holy water. And by the way, holy water is literally rainwater that you've prayed over and put your energy into, because all water is living, story for other days. And she was like, because awatu ni wachafu. Basically, because they are spiritually not like us, long story short. And we don't know sometimes the spiritual foundation that they have put in those houses. So I had this lady who was working for me, and she happened to be this, prophet and everything. She was very sensitive spiritually. And after I moved into that house, she started having really weird nightmares, and her child woke up in the night screaming and stuff. And when she prayed, she was shown that there had been a certain sacrifice done in the foundation of that house where someone had literally been unalived, and we're not sure whether it was on purpose or, we're not sure what, but that spirit was still lingering in that house. And I was just like, oh my God, you're too sensitive, whatever. A couple of weeks later, family, it was a really, really weird day. And I just didn't feel like myself at all. And then I called my Ndudi guy to bring me some vegetables and stuff from my mama boga. And I went to go to the bathroom. So the bathroom was down these stairs, and they'd lined these style stairs with like a metal thing. And family, I fell so badly. I almost lost my life. In fact, my ear, you see that Kaline? I split my ear in half. And luckily, because my Ndudi guy was coming, like, he came and he immediately rushed me to like a local clinic, and it's like those guys were waiting for me, and my ear was stitched. And the doctor was like, if you had fallen 2 inches one this way or that way, it would have been a brain injury, and this would be a totally different situation. And I knew that it's because I did my prayers and put my energy, invited the Most High and my ancestors into that space, that saved my life. Now remember the place I told you, Karibu Waves, where the same Shamim and Nene have refused to rent to Africans or people like this. So one time, they told me like they had this development and I should go check like on the houses and stuff. So I went there and I met one of the gardeners, and he was showing me around. And I was so shocked to hear that the initial architect of that place had died in an accident with his entire family. I think like his wife and 2 kids, 2 daughters, and only his son or something survived. And then the architect they brought after that also had like some serious health issues and stuff. So not all houses are clean houses, and not all houses should be lived in by us. And from that point on, family, I always petitioned the Most High, Gai, and my ancestors before moving into any home. And whenever I move into a home, I always sage, burn incense, the one they burn in the churches, the frankincense, and I always put my holy water to ensure, because if you want to take it really far, guys even say that houses are living. Houses have their own spirit. And the walls, I'm sure you've heard that the walls have ears. The walls also collect a lot of energy. And so, be very, very aware of the homes and the apartments you're renting. And before you even sleep, before you even put your things in there, be sure to pray, to commission and invite your guides, your angelic guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors into that space. Because sometimes you can be moving into a death trap. You can be moving into a place that is full of illness, because you also, since you're sharing in the home of the so-called landlord, you hear that word, landlord, you also inherit the karma of that person. So if they have illnesses and things in their family, you might find that. If they have a lot of arguments and issues in their family, you might find that all of a sudden you and your better half, or whatever they call them, also have such issues. So be very mindful when you're moving into a home family, and always ask the spirit if it is the right home for you. Yeah, I've seen a lot in Diani. There's another story I'll share with you guys about how I went into this place where there was Chawi who was a gardener. But those are stories for other days. I love you all. Stay uplifted.